rings.
That's right.
Um, Almost correct. You found one ring and you found one cloak.
Okay,
Mm.
fair enough. And I'm like 2 seconds from just putting this ring on.
There's also a room of ravens, and we convinced some of the ravens to try and find. We don't know what they were doing. The man with the staff. They flew off, potentially into danger, but we don't know.
We asked some potentially were-ravens and potentially just birds to do something, and we don't know if they
And they
understood.
did, and we didn't follow them, and they could be in danger
We
right now.
don't know if they did. We don't know if they just flew off to, find worm.
It's true.
I did find it interesting on the rewatch how you guys asked, hey, go find the guy. And they all left the room, and you took the one exit that they did not take. Okay. Alright, question time. Before we dive right in.
Let me scroll down to the bottom of my.
I know
Great.
my documents get awfully big. What would make you leave your companions? This could obviously be something good, this could be something bad, but I would suggest you focus more on something in the present. So not like, oh, well, once we defeat Strahd, I'm gonna go home on my own. Like, no, like we're thinking more like in the present. Though it doesn't have to be like immediately inside this winery.
Pavel doesn't know these people too well, but he has a very strong moral code. And if that moral code is violated, then he would leave. He is a very kind person, loving, forgiving, and to see that violated in front of him and not do anything about it, would hurt him deeply. And that is not who he is.
Okay.
Mine's pretty simple. A way out of this damn place.
Fair enough. So if you were offered an exit, you would take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I loathe this place so much. I mean, I'd hate to leave my companions, but yeah, I think I'd want out.
All right.
Knowing your type of DMing and my type of DMing and the genie bullshit that we both kind of pull, a guaranteed safe way out and back to Azrael and the Silver Swords. Which, when I put it that way, sounds like a really awesome 80s band.
So if you had a guaranteed safe way out of the realm, you would
Yes.
take it, even if it meant leaving your team behind.
Yeah. Nothing against any of you, I just hate this place more than anything.
And I think I could challenge you on the hating this place more, though.
Ophira's hated it for longer.
Except Ophira kind of chose to come back.
She
came
did.
searching for it.
Yes, and I regret that decision every waking hour. Yeah, it's like one of those things, like you eat something and it's disgusting, and you're like, I'm never gonna eat this again. And like 16 years pass, and you're like, maybe it wasn't so bad. And then you try it again, and you're just sitting in the toilet, regretting your entire life.
Mm.
How about our remaining players?
For Aresis, the only way out other than succeeding and ridding the world of this evil would be death. He wouldn't willingly leave a companion behind. He would sacrifice himself to try to make a save.
So, the only way you would leave your team is if Strahd is dead.
Yes.
So, All that matters for Rhesus. All that matters is Strahd's death, above all other things.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. I was
Okay.
waiting for you.
All right. All right. Rhaegar, he is paladin, and he is paladin of devotion. So he's got these tenets that he follows, and one of them is duty, and that's part of it is to protect those entrusted with care. In his mind, his party falls under that purview. With bearing that in mind, unless he was somehow forced to break one of the other tenants, either by a party member or some other unforeseen thing, which I really can't really imagine happening because Rhaegar's kind of a stick in the mud. I don't know if you guys know this about him, but yeah. Other than that, I really can't see him leaving short of death. He's really about the party. He's the shield that guards in the darkness. He's the guy that stands in between you guys and the things that want to stab you. He's that guy.
Would you
You guys go.
would you lie to save a friend?
No, because honesty is also one of his tenets.
So if someone's life was in danger and you could save it by lying, you would not.
Well, I guess not, because honesty is one of his tenets. So I always try not to lie or cheat, which is why I'm always charging headfirst into trouble, because I don't have that out. Or I can lie my way out of a problem. I can sneak my way out of a problem. I can, deception my way out of a problem. I don't have that option because I am a devotion paladin.
Would he be able to be silent?
Yes. He can stand back and let other people do that. He won't be happy about it, and he might talk to you about it later and be like, hey, you totally shouldn't have done that. But if you can convince him that it was for the greater good and it was for the like the good of this land or the good of this party, and it was to save somebody and to save the party, then yeah. But he himself is not going to. It goes against his devotion.
Okay.
The only way that he will leave his group is if it guaranteed the safety of the group. Like, if he had to sacrifice himself to save everyone else, if he was putting the group in danger by just being there and he was the reason, he would leave the group. But other than that, he will not leave them, and he will not turn their back on them if he gives his word. That is his bond.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised at how optimistic many of your characters still are. Although you're an interesting group of people. You've got some people who are like, hell no, I'm out of here. And then some of you are like, oh no, I would never leave them. So you're an interesting mix. I like the dynamic.
It's a part of Mace's faith, though. I mean, he questioned his faith for a while, but everything that happened with Johann has really made him look deep inside himself and found his faith again. And he's not going to waver again, no matter what.
the worst among you sacrificed his life to protect you.
For both your and Rhaegar's sakes, I hope that you don't live to
Regret it.
not regret, but realize that you're more human than you think you are.
Yeah, it was just like how everyone's just like so noble, and then I'm just like, peace. I'm out.
All right.
That's the chaotic neutral talking about.
Let's switch things up a bit, because we were in the middle of a rather tense situation. Does anybody want to ask any questions, any follow-up? I know it's been a month, so if anyone needs any like quick details, I'm more than happy to go over them, because it has been a while.
Yeah, go over exactly where we're at this point.
Okay, sure. So you guys made it into the winery. You came in through, I believe it was right around where the barrels were. You came in, you explored the upper halls, and you've killed you've killed 3 druids. And you've been casting a ritual, detect magic, because you were told that one of the druids seemed to have some kind of staff that controlled all of the blights. The winery is surrounded by dozens and dozens of blights, and you generally got the impression that if you were to go outside and try and fight amongst them, you would be very quickly overwhelmed. But maybe not. I mean, you can always try. You have yet to find any of the druids with a particular staff that seems to hold any particular power. You are currently in the cellar, where a number of things have exploded and been destroyed, given the spells that have been cast. The only ones who remain are yourselves. And you have yet to find the druid or feral entity that carries this supposed staff. You found a little bit of treasure along the way. There was a magical cloak and a magical ring. And you're a little bit cut and bruised, but for the most part, most of you are doing pretty well, health-wise.
Also, I'm like pretty sure you said we leveled up to 8.
Yeah. Except take that 8 and cut it in half. So what I actually said was level 3. So if you could all just
Right, we got up.
B level.
Right.
Just for that comment. Here we go.
Yeah, take the 8, cut it in half, and add 1. That's the
So this is where you are. You are inside the home. I'll slow this just a little bit.
I like to point out I can actually see.
Yes! Huzzah!
Hooray! We remembered to use Chrome.
I love your choice of music. Death to everyone. Trying to tell us something there?
Nope. If I'm a little bit more echoey, I apologize. I'm in a new room, and it's a very sparsely furnished room, so it's very echoey.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds epic.
First thing first, I'm the realist. No. Dangerously curious on the personality traits that should really be in the flaws. Yeah, I'm just gonna put the ring on. Fuck it.
Okay.
Might come in handy. Who knows?
Sure.
You die.
You sense that if you were to... You have a feeling that you can use the ring. So if you spend an action to use the ring, something will happen.
Fun. I always love something.
Alright. The ball's in your court. You've destroyed everything in here. You are still... The building is still surrounded as far as you know.
We have killed quite a few of these things. And
You
it's
have.
probably just a drop in the lake. Has anyone gone over here yet?
No.
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah. I'm really just... It's been a long week. I'm not up for doing accents right now.
Okay. Let's go.
First, I'll just, to be safe, I know we just fought here, so anything over here would have probably come over, but still. Never hurts.
Nice 21, okay.
Loktara, you go on ahead. I'll watch the rear.
I'll take front.
Okay.
There's two of me. Kill one of me.
And I guess I'll head up these stairs. Quiet.
I will follow. I'll make a stealth check to be quiet.
Alright,
Quietly.
is everybody trying to be quiet? Okay.
I thought I'd play the drums.
So here we have Ophira, quiet like a shadow. Oresis, quiet like a slightly smaller shadow. Pavel, quiet like a rabbit. And Rhaegar, quiet like a loud bass drum.
Yeah.
Clank, clank, clank.
Loudly up the stairs. Clanking in my armor.
Alright.
This is why I don't, guys.
Alright, so you guys are all gonna be moving. That's fine. Let's move
Sure.
up to here.
I'm holding an action that if we start combat, I'm touching Rhaegar and giving him virtue.
Touch one creature. Hold on a second. Try and move everybody up. Gain number of temporary hit points equal to 1d4 plus your skill. They are lost when the spell ends. Duration 1 round. Okay. That's a cantrip. Okay. So you guys are going up the spiral staircase. It brings you up to the...
Since I can't remember, because it's been a while, can I make like an intelligence check to figure out where we haven't been yet?
There's nothing here.
Okay. Let's see. So you guys came in through here. So you have not explored the eastern side of the building.
Wait, didn't we come in upstairs?
You came in here. And then coming through this doorway, you came up these stairs here.
Oh, gotcha. All
and
right.
that
Yeah.
brought you to the second floor.
Is this a thing in
Came
front
out,
of me?
yeah.
So right now, that's a swarm of ravens. Actually, it's not there anymore. I'll get rid of that.
And is there a door right here?
Ping for me.
Just like how there's another door on the opposite side.
Hold on, I don't see where you're pinging.
I'm at the top floor.
Oh, yes, there's a door there that is open because you
Okay.
guys came in through that door.
I'm
The
guessing there's
door
one.
that's over here, I believe, is closed.
And we haven't gone through. Okay.
Correct.
So if we don't, unless we run into anything, can we just... Well, first, I should probably remember if we've been there or not, so I know where to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just lead us there, because I remember we didn't go that way, because we went down.
You could also ask Pavel, who has been inside the winery and knows its layout, who could tell you where everything is and where you haven't been yet.
Pavel will explain that.
The main place you haven't been is the loading dock.
We should head to the loading dock. Perhaps there's something there.
Isn't this the loading dock? Big black area on the map?
It's towards the east.
Alright, well, I'm gonna start heading that way. Hello, dead person.
Pavel just stops and stares at the body for a moment before moving on.
And
You're gonna go through that door.
I'll perception check first. Oh, I forgot how trash my mental stats were. Ooh, roll hot.
Wow.
I'm about to die.
Okay.
That's why.
You have a 0 to your wisdom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Strahd's gonna
okay.
love that.
You listen,
I think you keep mind controlling me.
and I'll say that you're able to kind of hear the croaking of ravens on the other side, and you hear another voice kind of like speaking in a language that you don't recognize. Seems to be kind of yelling at them.
Well, I'm gonna.
Specifically, you hear "Yamut al tuyor, alien, alien."
Well, I'm gonna draw my bow, knock an arrow, and action roll through that door, and if I see it as an enemy, shoot whatever it is that's making that noise, because I'm pretty sure we've heard that and it's been the druids.
Okay.
I'm also going to ready an action to chop whatever tries to run through that door.
So you break through the door, and you see what you see.
If I still hear it shouting, is it coming from in front of me or behind me up these stairs?
Yes.
Thank
People
you
are
for that.
cutting in front of you. in your line of shot.
Yes, thank you for just cutting in front of me, and thank you for the non-answer.
You're welcome.
Well, since apparently we're going forward,
All right, give me a second here.
say hi to these ravens.
Just need to pull this guy up. Alright, so you all run into this room. You're looking at all four corners. You're like, what the hell's going on? You're looking around. And who was the first person I want? Was it Lokhtari or Rhesus who went into that room?
Lokhtari cut in front.
Lokhtari? Alright. Everybody roll initiative, please.
This is why if you want to look around the map, click and drag your token without actually moving it. You can
I'm
just
just
look
gonna
at it.
clear this first, remove all turns. Okay, now we'll roll initiative.
Joke's on you. I'm terrible.
Oh,
Alright.
so bad.
Lokhtari, you run in and you're looking around, you're trying to figure out what's happening, and from above, you look and see that there's actually like a suspended platform above you, and a bright beam of light just comes crashing down atop you. I need you to make a DC 12 Constitution save.
Provoke my help action.
You take 10 radiant damage.
Ouch.
And you feel burning light searing your every inch of your skin is just burning with what feels like bubbling fire. Your flesh doesn't boil, but it just burns through your whole being. And with that, we will add him to it as well. And as you all look above you, you see that there is a feral creature. Oh, of course, he didn't go in. There, now he should. There we go. So Lokhtari, with that, and I need to remind myself how Moonbeam works. Enters the spell area or starts its turn there for the first time, or starts its turn. Enters the spell area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn. So you have to do another. No. Sorry, guys. This is the first time I've used Moonbeam, so I just want to make sure that I'm doing this properly. So he only should have taken that damage once at the start of his turn. So you already took your damage. So you can go ahead and do what you'd like to do. You're burning from this unearthly white-purple fire coming from above you. And you can see that there is a feral man one level up on a suspended platform.
Alright, let me see. So you said I can see the guy? Because I can't actually see the guy right now.
You can just barely see him directly above you. If you find a way to get up there, I'll move you to the platform where you could see him, more specifically. But right now, he's on a suspended platform above these crates. And he yells down at you, Al-Tabiat, Tanhani Akulit, Nazawat, Yanan Lada, Farik, Masasi, Aldima.
What a dick. Above me, and these stairs in front of me looks like they go down, right?
That leads outside.
Where you definitely don't want to be.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking. I think the only way up is the staircase behind those is up, right? This one down here.
Yeah, you could do that. If you so chose.
Well, I got plastered really quick, so I'm gonna probably just go right here until we figure out, because I think I'm out of line of sight of the guy now.
Yes, you would be. You're behind a doorway now.
And as I came out, I'd tell the people that were in this room, I'd tell them, there's a rate, something above hit me with some kind of magic, and it chunked me hard. I'd obviously be in a lot of pain. I'd be like, he's up. We need to figure a way to get upstairs to get to him. And then I'd use my bonus action to take the dodge.
Okay.
And that's it.
Ophira, you see Loktari get hit by this burning light, and he just dashes away past you, not yelling from his flesh bubbling, but you can see he's in a lot of pain. The white light continues to shine down in the spot, and you can just kind of see a body above you, suspended on the platform.
Alright, so I know he cast a spell, but I think that's a reaction kind of thing. This guy hasn't taken a turn yet, has he?
No, that was an action that he took as you all kind of ran in and didn't see him, and so
Alright.
he attacked you.
So, if I can see him, then I can shoot him.
That is true.
Sharpshooter.
For this
or what?
purposes, he has half cover.
Doesn't matter. Sharpshooter.
Oh yeah, they can just cover. Cool.
If I can see him, I can shoot him. Now I have to remember which one was my short bow. Right, this one. Advantage. Thank God.
Now, sorry, remind me why you have advantage?
Mhm.
Assassinate. Okay, alright, okay.
You said he hasn't taken a turn.
He hasn't taken a turn.
Oh.
Eric, do you mind if someone listens in?
I never mind at all.
I didn't figure. Thank you.
So,
Now, I just
What
want
is
to
that?
clarify, so in the future, if you guys get surprise actions, then Assassinate would also work on you guys. Are you guys okay with that?
yeah, I mean, if you're giving NPCs class features, that's a risk you gotta take.
Alright, okay, so go for it. So that was a 17. Yep, that is a hit.
Cool. And then, for my movement,
So that's 20.
yeah, 20. Can I, like, climb from these crates to where this person is? With an
You
acrobatics?
can definitely try. It's going to be an acrobat and a half to accomplish. Because you can climb onto the barrels, but then you'd have to jump straight up to a suspended platform. So you can definitely try. It's going to be difficult.
God, imagine rolling a freaking 10 on this.
So you would have to run to here, and then you're jumping to kind of get up onto it. And you get your hand onto the edge, but you're not actually able to pull yourself over. Do you want to stay there, or do you want to let go to drop beneath the platform?
Oh, fuck. Now, if I stay here, definitely gonna attack me instead of Oresis. But if I stay here, Oresis likes to use AoE magic, doesn't he? That put me there. I'm gonna drop down.
Okay. So you'll drop down, and since you are directly beneath the platform, this entity, this creature, can't see you right now. You have total cover from them. Mace.
Yes.
It's your turn, my friend. What are you going to do now?
Well, I am not in the room, so I really don't see what is going on.
No. You just saw people run in, and then you saw Laktari almost immediately run right back out, looking a bit crisper.
I did say there was somebody above that shot me with magic.
Yes, you're right, you did.
All right. He can't really get to the door, and he is watching the rear. So what he will do is this. Mace is going to squeeze by Pavel, and he has drawn his weapon and his shield at this time, and he is going to cast this on Rhaegar.
On Rhaegar, okay. There's Rhaegar. Let's give you a little something. Here we go. There. So you have a Shield of Faith, Concentration, +2 bonus to your AC.
And he has guidance for his first round.
Thank you, sir.
And he will say
Guidance or Virtue? You said Virtue.
Virtue, excuse me, Virtue.
Yeah, okay.
he's just going to look at Laktari and see that he has been burned and just say, Laktari, what did you see in there?
As I said, something like wraith-like or human, I'm not sure, but above. But he said some language I didn't understand, and next thing I know, I was standing in a pillar of burning light.
All right. Basically, that's my turn.
Okay.
Mace is just going to hold his...
As I complain about the pains I'm suffering from.
Well, I already used a spell for my action, so I don't think you look too awful bad. So you're good. You'll be all right. Suck it up, Buttercup.
He had his temporary HP. He had his temporary HP evaporated.
Did I still have temporary HP? I couldn't remember because I just took it off my base HP.
You would have had 10 until you lost it. So that's
Okay,
up to you.
Yeah, I thought
you
that was just... No, it's fine. I just thought it was... Like, I didn't have it. I just took it off my base HP because I thought temporary HP was... It's been so long, I didn't know I still had that.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't remember either.
It didn't expire unless you got it. Unless it was lost during combat, it doesn't expire.
You guys did have that combat in the cellar, is the only thing, so I don't know if you did damage that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pavel, you are up.
And there is a stairway to the right.
Correct, to the south.
So I will tell everyone here, there's a stairway to the right. You could probably get up there to the platform. And, Rhaegar, I wish you guidance, my friend. And I'm going to touch him, and he will have this as well for this first round. And
Or an ability check. Okay.
and I'm going to say, I cannot get close to this. I'm not sure that I can handle such magic. And I'm going to look at Lokhtari's burns and stay right here. That's my turn.
Okay. Alright, moving on. Larissus.
Okay. I'm going to do something I haven't done before. At least attempt it.
Not use a fireball.
I'm not going to fireball. Correct.
Not fireball a bunch of civilians.
Yes. I'm going to cast
Remember your war crimes.
Night Terror on the creature.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
There's a cantrip.
Could you please share the text for that?
Yes.
Because I don't. I know it's a new spell that you have. I don't have them all memorized.
Yeah. Yes, it's one that you gave me, Eric.
I know. Alright. Alright. Succeed or take. Alright. So, those of you, I think actually, it would only be Ophira. You hear Aresis kind of mutter something, and this shadowy figure seems to suddenly break away from his own body. It kind of has a bit of a semblance of Aresis, but it's got shadows of like red veins inside of it. It's a very dark creature. It doesn't quite have a face, but it does have like very sharp red needle-like teeth. And you see it start to kind of like very deftly kind of start jumping at the creature above. It almost seems to like fly in that direction. And at the same time, it stays exactly where it is. Your mind's almost playing tricks on you when you see it. So we need to do an intelligence saving throw.
What sort of Johann devil magic is it?
Ooh.
Alright, so it's going to take 1d8. Oh wait, no, it's more than that.
15.
Yeah, because he's level 5.
Oh,
So-
you leveled it.
Yes, cantrips.
What's a
go
cantrip? Yeah.
And he got max damage, pretty much.
Ah, nice. Okay, cool. Holy
Cantrip.
shit. So you do that, and the creature above stares at this creature, and you see him suddenly start to quake and shiver, and blood starts to pour from his nose, his ears, his eyes, and yet he can't take his eyes off of this creature that you summoned, and he just starts to seizure, and he just falls down from above onto the crates below, dead, with blood just pouring from his very eyes, still just shaking and quivering.
I can just look over like.
With that, you hear moaning and groaning from the surrounding area. It doesn't quite sound the same as what you heard before, but you hear kind of more of a chaos to it. There's more movement, but it seems to not be concentrated as much anymore.
Well, that was a good time for my Discord to crash.
It sounds like the blights that we heard earlier.
It sounds somewhat, yes. There is a staff held in the druid's hand. It has what appears to be black veins, almost like roots, growing into it, creeping up his arm.
Aha!
I'm gonna do two things here, possibly, depending. Second thing will change depending how first thing goes. I still have no clue really how magic works, so I think this really means anything, but I'm gonna just cast Druidcraft around it to see how it reacts. Because I know my magic is good.
What exactly are you trying to accomplish with the druidcraft? Like, what mechanic are you trying to accomplish?
to see how it reacts to the power I have, if it reacts well or ill.
Okay, are you trying to make something grow? Like, just tell me like more specific. Because just saying you cast it doesn't tell
It's
me.
like a wood staff, right?
Yeah.
I just try to make like a little leaf bloom on it.
Okay. A leaf does grow, but it immediately grows black veins and then kind of shrivels up in on itself.
Alright. Second thing now.
Pavel's
Gonna-
just looking at this staff.
I'm gonna wrap that up, like take my hooded cape off and just use that to pick it up.
Okay.
Does Pavel's going to reach out a hand and just kind of touch his shoulder for a bit while he's looking at it.
Okay.
Let me look at it for a second.
Don't touch it.
I won't touch it. And what does he tell with that Arcana check?
What can you tell?
He's
Of nature magic. Has aspects of both enchantment and necrotic magic schools. Yeah, enchantment and necrotic magic.
So it's a natural object that seems corrupted. Is that right?
No, I would say that more the nature of its magic is of capital N nature, and the actual schools of magic are enchantment and necrotic, or necromancy. If you wanted to learn more specific details, then if someone casts like the detect magic or identify spell, or
I think we have detect magic up.
Yeah, detect
Okay.
magic would pretty much just give you the exact same thing the Arcana check just gave you.
Okay.
Yeah, you would learn at School of Magic.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going to... Oh, there you go.
That's the only problem. You have to touch this, and I don't want people touching this.
Okay, so Oresis, where are you? There you are.
It'd work if he touches it through the cloak.
Oresis, you should now be able to see an item called the Goltheus Staff.
Ooh, I see an item. It is indeed called that. Let's see.
First and foremost, you do immediately sense that this is the staff that controls the blights surrounding you.
Okay.
You all watch as Oresis kind of crouches over the item, hovering his hands and casting a ritual to identify its features.
You're doing
Ophira, you yourself, even through the fabric, you can sense that there is a almost inherently corrupt aspect to this staff. You sense its power, and being in such close proximity to it, you also sense its craving, and you sense you could probably do quite a bit with this staff.
Alright. Is everyone now?
Pavel is going to reach out and touch the staff.
I will not let him touch the staff.
Neither will I.
Okay. Oh, Let me think now. Give me
Okay, just,
contesting dexterity checks for all three of you.
his hand is like glowing with a purifying light.
I don't know magic. I still don't want anyone touching this, no matter what.
Rhaegar is going to give Pavel advantage.
Okay. So yours kind of like what? You're pushing the others out of the way. Okay.
Yeah, Rhaegar doesn't like this staff. He feels the darkness coming from it. He also feels what the magic that Pavel is using. He recognizes it, and he thinks it's a good idea. So he's going to try and help him
Okay.
with the help action.
It still doesn't matter because Arisa's got the 19.
Yeah. Irrespective of that, Aresis kind of knocks. Actually, Aresis, you tell me what you do. Like you have the advantage on what happens.
So he goes to reach for it, and I'm finishing up my identify, and I'm digesting what it does and how it functions. And as I see him going to reach for it, I just pull it back and say, "Don't touch it. This is dangerous."
Arisas, what is it? And are we
Wait.
going to get out of
You
here?
pull it back. You touch it.
Aresis?
Oh, I'm already touching it.
Oh, I thought your hand was just hovering over it.
Yeah.
No, I have to touch it as part of the identify spell.
Okay.
In that case, you do when you take your hand away, you do find yourself somewhat bleeding, and you see your blood kind of getting sucked up by the staff, and small amounts of what almost looks like smoke are kind of coming off of it.
Yes, indeed.
Oasis, what is it, and do we need it to get out of here?
So at this point, I'm going to explain what it is and say, it's not a cursed item per se. It's just dangerous by nature. It can create these blights, and then it can control these blights. And it's a double-edged sword in a way. You can make things bleed with it, and it will make you bleed in return. And you can use that blood to regain energy. But there is a chance of going mad with power every time you do it.
I do not like where this is going.
So, wait. Controlling and creating are separate from the replenishing energy but going mad?
Yes.
So if we just need to control them to get them out of here.
If we destroy it, will it destroy them?
It is unclear if destroying this by fire or breaking it will destroy the blights. More than likely, it will just make them wild again. But
Just to clarify, are you? Because I need to know this. Are you lying, Oresis, or are you? Is that what you actually think?
this is what I actually think.
Okay, just so you know because you cast the identify spell, that if you broke the staff, all blights within 300 feet would die.
Oh, okay.
If you explain
fair.
that, then Pavel will say, that is helping for our certain immediate situation, but what if we need to kill powerful
Oh.
blights in future?
I missed the whole they will die within 300 feet part. I was like, oh, there it is.
So,
I'll
roll something.
I can, if I sleep on this or take an hour, I can bond with the staff and I can command the blights to go away and never return. Well, a simple one-word command like leave, but then there's a bunch of blights roaming around.
I think if anyone is to do it, it should not be you. If you were to go mad with power, there's few here who could stop you.
Honestly, the best person for this weapon would be Lokhtari. It is a weapon that suits his abilities, and since it is magical in nature, he'll be able to hit things a lot harder.
We are not keeping this.
Well, then we need to decide to either break it or burn it. Pavel, do you have a preference?
I could try to cleanse its curse. That's my lady's power.
I'm not sure it's really cursed. I think it's just the nature of this item, this staff.
I just grab it and walk outside.
Okay.
If you break it now, we could use it to kill blights in future. These are just a few of them. I've seen so many more.
Just to clarify, when you say a few, again, you're surrounded by dozens and dozens of blights.
Yeah,
Yes, there's an entire forest full. I saw them. They covered the entire horizon.
I kind of think breaking this thing is the move right now. Because I would not want anyone to use this. Mainly because you'll be plagued with nightmares and, you'll probably never get a restful night's sleep ever again.
I think you guys are talking to the walls at this point. And he points toward where Ophira walked away.
You should let me try to cleanse it.
Yeah, no, Rhaegar's already shaking his head, sighing, and going after Ophira because he knows that she's already gone. So,
Ophira, you're outside. What are you doing? You see, as soon as you step outside, you see 24 tree blights, needle blights, suddenly kind of turning towards you, getting ready to fire.
And I'm gonna start running.
You're gonna start running?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get as many of these things within 300 feet of me as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. All right. Well then, let's switch things up just a little bit then. All right. Roll a strength check for me.
I made a very dumb, impulsive decision, and I stick by it.
that's useful. Don't plan.
You all see Ophira just start sprinting down. Which way? Are you going north, south, east, west?
I'm just gonna start heading around the house. So, whichever way this way is.
Okay. So let's have you move in that direction. And I need you. Let's give me a dexterity saving throw.
See this spell I posted?
Let's see. I do see it. 30 feet long, 10 feet high, 1 foot thick. Tell me where you're making this wall.
I'm interposing it between Ophira and the needle blights, as is needed. And I will be moving the sections of the wall with shape water as a distance spell until I run out of mana.
Let me see here. Because you're doing two different actions here, so you're going to have to wait to do one, then the other. Hold on.
Right.
Okay, so first thing. So you did a 20 dexterity save. Alright, so you take 3 damage.
Nothing. It's nothing. I'm gonna kill all these guys right now.
And we will say that there is a 5, 10, 20. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Alright. Reese's, I see your question. We'll just restart the turn order. We'll have to do this. So everyone roll initiative for me to see how this goes.
Oh, that's fitting.
I really hope I go first. I do not.
All right.
I'm up top though. That's good.
That was the first action by Ophira. She took off running. Pavel, you got your action to cast the wall of water. Oresis, it's now your turn.
Okay, so at this point, I see this happening. I walk outside, and I ruin everyone's fun, and I just tell all the blights to come.
Alright. I would like you to do a dexterity saving throw for me.
Sure. Oh, I do not have bless. I don't know why it's.
But you're right by a paladin, aren't you?
Oh, do I still get 4?
You get a bonus that's equal to their charisma.
You take 4 piercing damage.
But they don't foresee me as hostile.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
The staff
Okay.
still exists, and no one has changed their decisions. No one's made any other influence upon them except the last thing that they did, and they're still, if you will, somewhat inherently evil creatures.
They are
And you
bad.
just told them to come on, so I assume you mean
Well-
bring it on.
Well, I was kind of using the Blight Bane ability where just by simply holding it, I can give one word commands. So like,
Wait.
come, as in come here.
But you
Problem
don't
is-
have the staff. I thought that Ophira
Yeah.
took it from you.
You were only touching it to cast Identify. I was still holding it.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, well then, just by a fear of holding it, they wouldn't attack because they don't regard them as hostile unless they harm the
She's
Blight.
not attuned to it.
You don't have to be. That's what's interesting about this ability is it's just by simply holding the staff, you can control the blights.
That is true. That
But
is
she
true.
hasn't yet. She hasn't done anything yet.
And she hasn't actually touched it. She's got it wrapped up in her cloak, and she's refusing to use it.
Also true. I'm going to go with, since she's not actually holding on to it, she's not gaining the benefits of it. Because that's deliberately what she's trying to do. She's deliberately
Okay.
trying to prevent herself from having any contact with the staff.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Would you have mentioned that ability?
Yes, I was explaining these things.
Okay.
I was trying to RP it. I
Slightly.
was trying to RP it very well.
It only slightly
not do a
changes
good
what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So-
right. That's kind of why I thought like isolate them, like because this was like you're doing this thing to run around in circles. I come out, tell them to come. They all gather around me, and then I'd break the staff. They all die, and then I'd laugh like, "What are you doing?" This was very simple, and you made it very, very difficult.
Well, Ophira has run off.
I didn't even take a full move actually. Either. I could have gone further.
Go further if you want.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Alright.
I'm being rash right now.
So, what are you going to do, Reese's?
I'm going to yell at Fira to stop running and just tell the blights to come here
Alright.
and hold the staff. Actually, grab the staff. That is also important.
Okay. So you're going to run up to her and try and grab it from her?
I will let Ophira make the choice to just grab it. I'm not going to try to grab it at this time.
Okay.
If she just keeps running, then I'll hold an action to grab it or grapple it, I guess, to stop her from going anywhere.
Okay. Rhaegar. Standing at the doorway, I need you to take a dexterity save.
Hey. 11?
Take 2d6. Take 9 piercing damage.
Alright. 9. Alright. Why is it not going well? I will fix that later. Alright, okay, so I'm gonna run over here next to Ophira. can I do a skill or an ability as a bonus action?
Well, you still have an action. Like what?
I know.
What do you want to
I
do?
want to take the dodge action as a bonus action.
You can just take
I
that.
mean, as an action, I want to take the dodge action,
Okay.
and as a bonus action, I want to. I don't know how you want me to do this. Either use intimidation or I don't know. I'm thinking it's more persuasion because I want to persuade these Twig Blights to attack me and not any of my other party members.
Okay. You
Oh,
want to taunt
I can
them.
use
Okay.
I can use intimidation, I guess, but that really doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I feel like intimidation is scary and persuasion is persuasion, like convincing them of something. So it's up to you.
I will allow you to use either persuasion or intimidation. I think it falls more under intimidation, but you can go with either or.
And I will use intimidation.
Okay.
Taunt them. Taunt them.
14. All right.
14.
You see them to focus more on you.
Okay, so like I bang my shield with my sword. I bounce around and I make a lot of noise, and then I like kind of hunker down behind my shield. And I look over at Afira and I say, "Stay here, stay behind me, get ready with the staff." And that's my turn.
No idea of tactics. It's a 300-foot range and we're right next to a house. We can't get the most out of it.
Mace.
It's 300 feet.
Yeah. So what? You want them to crowd into the house to get nearby?
Mace is just going to come outside and protect the rear.
Alright. Loktari.
So I see these blights attacking, and I did hear the conversation where the staff could stop the blights from attacking if you command them to.
Correct.
So I'm gonna run up here. I guess 40 feet, right? So can I try to grab the staff from under the cloak?
Yeah, sure. That would be a contested dexterities.
Oh,
And Ophira.
Saves or checks?
Yeah, you're right.
No, yeah, checks. Not saves.
oh, so subtract 3 from mine then. 'Cause my regular dexterity is a +4. So a 9.
Oh,
Look,
So
I'm
it's
doing that
3.
exact.
Okay, so you are able. Are you trying to grab just like the full staff, or just like the staff
I wa-
wrapped in clothing?
I want to get my hand on the staff.
Okay. So you're able to grab hold of the staff. Your hand is now touching it. And immediately as you do, you have a sense of power that you can exercise.
And I just yell stop with my focusing on the blights.
Alright. All the blights that you can see suddenly just stop moving. The needles that were piercing everyone's skin suddenly hold still for a moment.
I
Blights
think that would be
slowly creep up out from the bushes, and you're able to kind of see them a bit better now, whereas before they were very difficult to see in the rain. They're now just kind of standing and staring at you.
I think that would be my turn, or
Let me just check.
Grabbing, making a contested would be an action, yes.
Yeah. And then you just told them to stop. So yeah, that would be your turn, unless you want to spend a bonus action for something.
I mean I don't know what I have bonus action, so yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's it.
All right. Ophira.
Can I just take it back?
Yeah, if you go for contested dexterities. Ophira plaintively is like, "No, I want it," and Phil just, Lokatari just kind of like swings it out of her way, holding it up.
Well then, since apparently you just can't let me do a plan for once, go ahead, monk man. I'm just gonna sit on the ground and sharpen my sword. For cutting time, somebody cut that thing in half.
So, given that Lokatari just said stop, I'm going to take us out of combat for the moment, unless something changes. And you are just, as far as you can see through the vineyards, you just see these blights of all different types and shapes, just stopping and staring.
So I holler back at.
Start to
Might
see
be-
blood just slightly drip down the length of the staff as it
Yes.
slowly seems to drink it from you.
You know, before it bleeds you dry, you might want to consider having them, give back the things they stole from this place.
I mean, before any of that would happen, as I had it, I'd be yelling for Pavel because I'm not a master of the magics.
Okay.
I know Pavel, so I would actually be calling for Pavel to come take this thing.
That might not react very well with them.
So Pavel will come up to you, and while he's casting Shape Water, and I'm able to move 4 of the 5 sections, 5 feet as this happens, and I'm going to make it into kind of a dome around us, separating us and the blights. And I'm going to say, if I am able to cleanse the staff, we still have the blights to deal with.
Is there a command I can give to have him go away?
I mean, they're following your orders.
You could perhaps tell them to die.
Out of character, that's pretty macabre.
It's a little bit odd for a 13-year-old boy who's supposed to be like
character.
all roses and rainbows to say that. Yes.
In character.
No, but they're magic in nature. I do not know if that is something that they would accept. I will not know if they are alive, even.
I guess I would just ask the group, what do you think we should do with it? I don't know. I mean, I feel like telling them to die seems pretty ruthless.
They are evil. They must be destroyed.
Well, I was going to go into the largest open area and have them all gather around for the big final breaking, but
I mean,
interrupted in that.
We may need the staff, though.
We will not need something.
Or I could try to cleanse it. It's still magic.
And it's still inherently evil. Arisa said it wasn't cursed. I don't think there's anything to cleanse.
Well, I could still try.
But if you do cleanse it, what if it cannot control the blights anymore and we are surrounded and back where we started?
Exactly. Tell them to go away, or tell them to, I don't know, go back to the earth. But he said that they would only take one word, so I do not know if the simplest command that came to me was to pass away.
Pavel,
Leave.
were you serious before about there being legions of these things?
My memory is hazy from back then, but they seem to be everywhere.
Well, don't we
Just
see how it
countless.
ended
And this staff, we must ask ourselves if it can control them. Then who made it? Where did it come from? Is it whatever has made it is also making these blights? And if it is of the same nature of whatever that has created it, then perhaps the whole breaking and destroying everything around it could also destroy whatever is making everything. But if we destroy it now, then we'll have lost our greatest weapon.
I agree. I think we don't need to use it. I think we need to. As he says this, I'm gonna tell all the blights to not disperse, but dissipate. 'Cause you said they're made of magic, so I want them just to dissipate.
Yeah.
They start walking in. All the ones that you see in front of you start walking in just completely opposite directions.
Well, dissipate means poof, right? Isn't that?
Yeah,
Am I using
just
the right
like
word?
to
You may
just
as
to-
in dissipate that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like
they just
like
stare at you.
poof.
They just stare at you.
Yeah, their energy. Well, so their energy. Right? I thought they
I
were
mean,
like magic energy.
Yeah, I do hear what you're saying. They just stare at you.
Then I yell, "Leave this place! Leave us!"
Okay. The ones that can see and hear you start to move away from you.
As of doing that, I ask the group for some cloth to wrap the staff up. But I'm at least, because I'm not like being a dictator here, but I would say I think we need to keep the staff. We don't know if it's useful or not. Breaking it seems very rash, and we may regret that decision. For right now, I think we should wrap it, not use it, but keep it with us until we further understand it.
What are you
That's
trying
not
to
a bad
perceive
plan.
as?
I am watching Laktari's actions and looking at his well-being because obviously the staff corrupted whatever it was that was using it before, and I want to see if he's like getting paler from blood loss or anything like that.
Right now, with an 18, okay. He's not getting paler. You do see like blood slowly dripping down the staff and getting soaked into the staff as he touches it, and as he lets go, I'd say with an 18, you notice there's no actual cuts or anything like that on his hand for the blood to come out from.
Pavel will hand over his travel cloak.
I already have mine off.
Okay.
That's what it was already wrapped in. So, yeah.
So you've got Ophira's travel cloak to wrap it in.
Okay.
So we wrap it. I'm okay with not carrying it. It's just, I guess I look at Ophir and say, "Do I have your word you will not break this or destroy it until we understand it better?"
We already understand it enough, but whatever.
I guess I don't really care if I got to carry it or somebody's got to carry it. It's wrapped up, so I don't think it's any danger to us.
Yeah, I'll just carry it and probably tie it up as well. I thought the thieves' tools came with silk.
Has anything strange been happening to any of you in the woods?
You ask if something strange happens in this place.
No, I mean because I feel that there is a darkness that I have not sensed before, but I lost memories of earlier when I fought these creatures before. Has it happened to you? Any of you been acting strangely?
I do get the occasional want for bloodshed. I didn't used to have that happen. It's quite interesting, this place.
What I mean is, if we lose our memories, and we are not able to control ourselves. The staff may not be with us for long.
Well, we can't exactly know what we don't remember.
That's true. I will try, once these things have walked off, to cleanse the staff. If it does not work, then perhaps we should destroy it.
What magic is this cleansing?
My thought is we use the staff to make the blight stand still and destroy them one by one.
It's a good idea also.
I don't know if they'll do that. When I ask them to dissipate, they seem to not follow that command. I don't
They
know
may
if
not have understood that command.
They're made of plants, not magic.
true, but I would think the magic would. They're plants, but it's magic imbued plants, correct? I thought the dissipate would make them just turn back into normal plants.
And what do we do if we attack them while they're obeying us and then they decide that they want to fight us?
Which is what I'm concerned about.
Then we just tell the staff to make them die.
Then we could break it. This is a good idea.
I don't. Cleansing this place of these blight is not the main error here. I mean, we are no longer in danger from the blights. I think that's a win. I mean, we're not trying to cleanse this land of all of its evils. That's an impossible task. Destroying the staff, we might find ourselves in danger of blight down the road.
But
It's
it is
true.
not something that we can use often because it obviously corrupts the one
I
who
agree.
uses it.
But if we find ourselves in the middle of 100 blights in the future, it would be nice.
If we found ourselves in the middle of 100 blights in the future, I doubt they would be ones made by this staff, which, if I'm understanding this correctly, only controls ones that it creates.
I do not know if that is true or not. I suppose we will have to find out.
It seems this staff can control blights in general, including ones it creates. It can also create blights. It has charges that you can only use it if you are attuned, but if no one attunes to it, you don't get the benefits of, creating blights, but it's still a magic quarterstaff, and you can still be considered non-hostile towards other blights as long as you don't harm them.
As long as you don't harm them, which goes against what Mace would like to do.
Yes, if we attack them, then they would turn on us.
Correct. But if we keep the staff, we can be seen as non-threatening.
Well, it's only the wielder. I mean,
Can be seen as threatening.
technically, the only reason they're not attacking us is because you told them to stop. Now,
Which is good.
right, but they could still attack us who aren't wielding it. They're still evil plants.
True, but they're not.
Because you
tell
told them to stop.
Die, then put it away, and we'll use it again if we need to.
Which is what I think we're doing right now as it was, I thought. I thought we chose not to destroy it and just take it with us wrapped up.
It's a good idea. Until we find whatever has created it.
That is my vote.
I
Agreed.
remember that the Martico family, they went out soon after these things came, and they went to try and stop them. But they were driven back. Perhaps we should ask them where it is that they went. I think that they may know more.
It is the least they can do for us clearing out their home.
Do you have any idea where they are? Where they
Well,
went?
they were in the woods. We just came from there. I do not think that they would leave. Or perhaps they did, I do not know. But,
We can go back to find them and just ask them.
Was there anybody from the family that was missing at all, Eric? That Pavel would have noticed?
No.
Okay.
Have we searched this building thoroughly enough?
Not nearly.
I would like to check on the wine. I know we destroyed some on our way, but it would be bad if the wine stopped flowing. Would it be possible with what he has learned here to try and get some sort of indication as to the state of the winery? So he could tell the Martikovs, something.
Sure. Give me 1 second just to check something quickly. Okay. So, yeah, you probably would have known this. So, this is from the story that they told you before. That you would have known this, Pavel, because they trusted you a little bit more. That the only reason, or one of the reasons why this was one of the few places where wine was actually able to grow. Like, the fact that wine is so popular in Barovia, you would think that other places would be trying to make it. But this place seems to be the only winery farm where the grapes can actually grow. And that was attributed to the presence of some gems that helped enrich and invigorate the life in this area. You know that those gems were stolen during the raids over the course of a few weeks. So, in that time, you don't know much about them, but you know that when the last one was stolen, which was only a few days ago, the family was absolutely beside themselves. And that without those gems, there will be no more flowing of wine until they can be recovered.
I get 8 hours to cast a spell.
The wine is grown with magic, and the magic was stolen. I think that they tried to go after it, but they could not beat the blights. Having the ability to tell the blights to stop, if we could please try to recover the gems, would be helpful. I should see what damage has been done to the winery. At the very least, perhaps we can get a little bit more to Kresk to hold them over until this whole situation can be done.
We should investigate the bodies of the druids and see if we can find any clues on them of where these gems may have gone and who is working with them.
Yes, I believe we forgot to check the pockets of the latest victim of ours.
Yes. Let's go and look around. I will look at the wine vats, the storage, see what can be salvaged so that I can tell Martikov. And thank you for helping, all of you, and do what you need to do. And so Pavel will go and inspect the place and try and look at see how the production vats are doing. What wine may be in storage unless they destroyed it all.
A lot of wine's been destroyed, but there is still some barrels that are left. I'd say 2 of the vats have been damaged, particularly in the ensuing fights that you all had. There's bird feathers, shrapnel of broken wood everywhere. There's a lot of wreckage, but it's still intact. Well, a lot of stuff's been destroyed. I'd say they probably have maybe a quarter of or a third of what they had.
That sounds rough.
Oresis, as you search through the corpse, you don't find any other additional items.
Well, we got nothing, boys. They're druids, so they probably came from the forest. Unfortunately, that's about as much as I can gather.
No good berries, nothing.
Are these
Single
vats?
good berry.
Are these vats
Oh.
open air sort of thing, or are they closed, or what?
They normally have lids. They currently have the lids removed.
Oh dear, and they've got stuff in them and everything. Can I check the wine and see if any of it inside is good?
How would you want to check that? 13-year-old.
He's not 13. He's 16.
16-year-old. My mistake.
He's
He's young
Barovian.
teenager, so I round that to like 13.
Okay, sure.
I did not know you were 16. My mind is blown.
Yeah. So he's Barovian. He drinks wine. He has since younger. So he's just gonna kind of hold his nose and sample a little bit.
Alright. This is not quite finished wine, but it tastes like the wine that you know.
Okay.
Filter Pavel, and it'll be fine. Gotta filter out those feathers. Yeah, the alcohol will take care of the rest. It'll be fine.
Okay. I guess there's really nothing I can do. I can tell him what I learned, that the wine still seems to be good. Maybe.
This is Rhaegar still by me, right?
Yes, sir. I'm keeping a close eye on these big lights. I don't trust that staff or them.
These aren't here anymore, I don't think.
That's true. Those ones have moved away. If you walk around to other sides of the building, you do still see twig lights.
Well, the staff is wrapped, tied. It's just sitting in front of me, and I'm gonna be like, we should probably leave tomorrow.
Yes, so we need to take a wagon load of wine to the town in order to get entry. And we need Pavel too. Hopefully he's up for the trip.
Yes.
Correct.
We'll need permission from Mr. Mortikov to take the wine.
I'm sure that
The first thing that we should probably do is let him know that everything is good to come back. Does anyone... the ravens. Perhaps. They always seem to be pets. Is that right, Eric? Are they kind of like parrots or pets?
No.
No.
You've seen them around all the time, and the family treats them with great respect. I don't think you would see them as pets.
Okay, so how would he see them? How would Pavel see the ravens?
Pavel would have noticed that there's always ravens around, that the family always treat them with some certain degree of like respect and reverence, kind of like you would if you. It wouldn't be unusual for you to know that they see the ravens as kind of like a symbol of their faith a little bit, and they're always around. They would always have food for them. They would always treat them well. They would always respect them.
And the ravens did go to the person with the staff.
You saw them surrounded in the room of person's staff. Yeah, the cats in Egypt. Yeah, that's an accurate way.
Okay. So Pavel will go to the ravens once he's inspected everything, and he'll say, "It is safe to return home for the Motoko family. If you can really understand me, please let them know."
In the meantime, Mace has been looking around, and he opens these doors and walks in. Is this a stable?
Where are you? Yes, there's 2 large horses there.
Well,
It's unstable.
all right.
Anyway,
He will go back to the group and say that there's a stable with 2 large horses in it. And this is obviously a wagon in this room here.
Yes.
All right, cool. Just gonna let him know about the horses.
If only Johan were here. He was so good with horses.
Yeah, someone could ride back to the family and let them know it's clear, and they could come back.
I have something to do here. We should definitely not be till tomorrow. And with that, I'm keeping us here for at least 8 hours while I long cast plant growth in this area.
Okay. And
It's the 8-hour version, which is gonna enrich the land within a half-mile radius.
okay. And so while Ophira just kind of sits down, starts doing a ritual for 8 hours, what are the rest of you doing?
I'd like to rest if I could, use my key points back.
Yeah, I would like to rest myself.
All right.
I'll probably... I guess rest does sound like a really great idea.
We don't get it often in this land.
I am tempted to use mending on the broken things. Wait, I don't have that yet. Not until I level up. So never mind. I'm not going to do that. And I guess I will rest then.
All right. Aresis, Loktari, Rhaegar.
No, I said I wanted to rest.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, I wanted to recover my key points.
Okay. So Rhaegar and Aresis, what are you two doing?
Rhaegar's gonna go upstairs to one of these bedrooms and probably rest.
We taking an hour. We taking 4. Long rest, short rest.
Taking at least 8.
Yeah,
All right.
here for 8, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Ophira told me she needed 8, so that's what Rhaegar's planning on.
fair enough. I will spend 4 hours in trance, and then I'll spend the first 4 hours I will spend drinking wine and hanging out in the vats. And then the next 4 hours I will take me a little trancey nap.
This isn't even.
You drink the wine for 4 hours from the vats.
Isn't even our wine.
He's like, I'm getting my reward.
I feel like we've earned it.
That's our wine right now.
We're gonna get to crest, and then we're like, yeah, that's not quite.
Aresis gets drunk off the unfinished wine in the vats.
Aresis, give me a Constitution saving throw.
We're gonna get to crest.
Hell
and we're
yeah.
gonna be like, yeah.
Hell
God.
yeah!
Aresis
I
is
drown in a vat.
knocked out. He's like, oh yeah, I'll just trance. I'll be fine. I'm good. I'm good. And he just like passes out.
I'm seepy.
Can Pavel check on him every so often to make sure he doesn't drink himself into the next life?
You can put him into the recovery position.
Recovery position, okay. That's what Pavel does after all.
I puke on your shoes.
Okay. So all of you are taking an 8-hour combined long rest, except for Ophira, who's going to be working for these 8 hours. Okay.
Because it's still like the middle of the day, right?
It is still, yeah. I mean, it's going to be late evening by the time you finish.
Alright, cool.
So, I'd say, if you're all going to be taking a long rest, I assume most of you are probably taking naps. Like,
Yeah, I assume that Pavel and the other religious guys will bring the dead bodies together and, kind of do some sort of service.
Yeah,
service
definitely.
for
Or you know what I mean?
See them,
Yeah.
something like that.
Alright.
Good or bad, they still deserve less.
Or yeah, we said the pyre was probably the preferred method, right?
In Barovia, probably.
Yeah, in Barovia. Yeah, so we'd probably burn the bodies, right?
Yeah. I've got
Yeah.
bonfire as a cantrip, so
Okay.
Oh,
wouldn't
well,
be too
there we
hard.
go. Yeah,
And
and then-
Mace would want to do it at sunset.
Okay. Alright. Lokhtari. I'm going to ask you to join me in the general chat. And I am looking for...
Am I going crazy from that staff interaction?
No, you actually are not. You are not. Where are you hiding? Give me a second. I'm just looking for the correct music that I chose earlier for you. Oh, I know where it is. There it is. There we go. As you rest, you had a pretty long morning. And with the slight amount, though enough to affect you, blood that you lost, you kind of let your eyes doze and close, and you feel the slow, heavy blanket of sleep fall upon you. And as you sleep, you kind of drift, and you suddenly hear this sound. Thwack, thwack, thwack. And you open your eyes, and you're kind of in a little bit of a mist. And you hear this thwacking sound just slightly in the distance.
As I'm awake now?
You feel awake, but you're no longer in the building that you were in. You're just surrounded by this light mist.
And it's probably one of those dream states where that doesn't seem odd.
At this point, you'd recognize that you're in a dream, yeah. And you're just hearing this, like, thwacking sound.
Well, I'd investigate it. It sounds like it's calling me.
As you walk through the fog, every so often, it's almost like you can feel something huge passing near you. And like, you'll turn to your left, you'll turn to your right, and like, you'll see the mist kind of move, but you don't actually see what's there. You just get this sense that something of a leviathan is just passing through this mist. Eventually, you reach a clearing, and there's grass, and you're almost in this small forest, and you see a woman taking an axe and hitting this tree. There's already one large tree on the ground beside her, and she's just like smashing this axe, and wood chips are flying.
She look like a normal sized woman, or is this like a big woman?
This is a woman who you recognize somewhat.
Oh,
She
okay.
seems very, very familiar to you. And as you look longer, she glows in a sense of familiarity as well. This
By
is
deity?
the angel, the deity who you met
Yeah.
oh so long ago. Although at the time she seemed a little bit more divine with like the glowing lights, the wings and all this, but in this case she's wearing plaid and like has this axe that's just like breaking, and finally she'll just yells out to you, "Keep your head up!" and this tree just comes smashing down to the ground.
I would be confused, but I'd probably approach her if I recognized her.
Ah, speaker. You've been lost to me for a long time. Here. Pick one. And she'll gesture at each of the logs. One of the trees is a cedar tree. Soft, red wood. Familiarity of home and hearth. And the other is a black iron tree. One of the strongest woods and very difficult to work with, but very, very strong.
I'd probably reach for the iron tree.
Alright. She tosses you a bunch of tools. Says, "Build me a box. I'm gonna make 2. And she starts sawing away at the cedar, cutting right down the middle, making it into a plank.
And I'm supposed to make a box out of the steel wood?
Yep.
What do I gotta roll?
Roll a dexterity with proficiency. Or if you have your carpentry tools, then you can roll that.
Where would the carpentry tools even be? There.
I don't know if you put them. Where are you? Let's see.
I don't think I did.
No, you didn't. That's okay. Just roll me a dexterity and we'll add your proficiency to it. Okay. So you...
Efficiency would make it, yeah, like 20.
26.
Oops.
So you're cutting through and it's going really well. Like, this is incredibly tough wood and you are crising through it. And she's working beside you as well, and it's been a long time since you've had the chance to work with wood, and it's almost... It's soothing. It feels good to just kind of work with your hands again and not have to worry about all these other things. And while you're doing this, you've been gone for a long time. Even now I can barely see you and those around you. And as she says that and you kind of look up, you actually see your companions around you in the mist. You see Ophira with these green lights kind of floating off of her, kind of like spores just kind of drifting away from her body as she sits and chants. You see Mace with this light glow of blue that's slightly fading but seems to still tinge his features. Orisa seems to drip and drip with blood. And you don't see Pavel. Instead, you just see another woman with long blonde hair who's more 30 or 40 years old, sitting by your body. All of them just either sleeping or going about their day. So where are you right now? What dark place keeps you from me?
I barely remember even coming here. It feels so long ago. It's a cursed land. I hate it. It's always dark. It's evil. Every being here seems like they're corrupted.
And you see her kind of like now pull out and crack some planks and starts like nailing them together. and you see her kind of like drilling little holes to make hinges for her box. So it's a corrupt land. Should it be purged? Or do you think it should be saved?
I don't care if it's purged or saved. I just want out of this place. It existed long before I got here. I don't see redemption in this place. So the only purging, there's no redemption. It can't be saved. I don't think it's worth an effort to destroy it, though. I mean, out of character. I mean, really, the way I picture it is, it's like, you know, hell has a purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of the yin yang thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if there's a corruption, that you purge the corruption to save the underlying. But I guess the way I picture this place is it's just cursed. You know, I wouldn't be against this place getting vanquished, but I don't really see a reason to put an effort in. I just want out of it.
Okay. She goes quiet at your words, and she just continues to work at making the box. It's getting close to completing it. I can feel your anger. I imagine you've been through much going through this corrupt land. However, I sent you out because there were decadent and corrupt people in the world. That you should end up in a land filled with them. It seems to me that fate has a hidden hand in you, and that the wheel is not yet finished.
Then I ask of you, is this a land that's corrupted by individuals, or just a corrupt land? I've written it off. I didn't really see a reason to even bother with this place. It felt like the corruption was in the soil itself. But if there's truly a way for this place to be purified by taking out a few individuals, I would probably be more on board with that.
Everyone has their time on the wheel, and every life that they have, whether corrupt or not, can eventually make their way off, given enough time. I don't know enough about the land that you speak of, but I do know of the creatures that live in it. And at that very moment, again, this huge leviathan creature, just barely behind the mist, drifts through and around you. Those are the creatures that corrupt the land. They are the ones that hunt for souls, and they are the ones who corrupt it. Even now, our time grows short, as I can tell that there's someone out there who is asleep now, but will listen to us as soon as they wake. And as you look down, listening to us, you look down, and she's finished her box. And you look down, and you notice that you finished yours as well. You're both working just focusing on the meditative aspect of creating something with your hands and wood. And she places both boxes next to each other. You know this land best. You have lived there. But all I can tell you is that of the corruption, it is not the land itself. The land itself can be healed, but you have to purge or save those who are within. And so I ask you, my speaker, which do you think is best? To save, and she'll gesture at the cedar box. Or to purge, and she'll gesture at the black ironwood box.
Well, if the people are truly innocent, then I agree to save. Though I do not know how I can fight creatures such as what's in this mist. I agreed to preach your word and build a church around you, though I don't think I can fight creatures such as that.
Every land needs either a scythe and the seed to grow. So that is your decision. Will you be the scythe to to cleanse the land of the dead? Or will you choose to be the seeds to grow anew? It is your path to choose. In either path, I will be there for you as best I can.
I will have to think upon this. Again, out of character, I just don't think I mean, if this Leviathan thing run around, I guess I would be discouraged in my abilities. I wouldn't even begin to think about how to clear it of that corruption.
That's fair.
So I would be discouraged, I guess, but I wouldn't want to show it to her. So I would say I just want to think on the subject. Though she'd probably see through me, so it's irrelevant.
That's fair. You may take your time, but my strength wanes in this space, and I can only bestow a little bit of strength upon you now. I do not know when I'll next be able to.
I appreciate you showing up. It lifts my heart to realize that you're still there.
She places her hand on your cheek, and you can feel the calluses on her hand. As far as I can be, I will be there with you. I implore you to find your compassion. Find your empathy. I know you are despondent in this land. But there is a reason that I chose you. And there is a reason that you chose me. Let's not let this place take that away. And she starts to drift off, and you see the two boxes in front of you, still there on the table. A choice that sits in front of you. And you slowly start feeling yourself drifting back into the blackness. Do you do anything?
No, I mean, I think she's given me the... You're talking about I'm going back to, like, my body or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would let it go. I mean, she's spoken her piece. She's given me my task. I understand what she wants. Though, like I said, I don't have courage that I can uphold that part of the bargain.
Okay. In that case, let's go back to the group.
Are the Addisons?
I really was tempted to go Oath of Ancients, but
All
Are you
right.
dead,
I've
Phil?
never.
Thank you for your patience,
I've never.
everyone.
Yeah,
Phil's
I'm rolling a new character.
I knew it. I was like, he's gonna come back and say he died.
All right. Hours pass, and you all collect your rest. And Ophira, the richness blooms around you. The grapes grow fat. The trees, the leaves also bloom and spread. The grass grows greener. It's still dark, but you notice quite a difference in the land around you. And after 8 hours, still no one comes up the road.
And everyone's inside, probably still resting.
Yeah.
Oh, they
But
probably
it's been a
thought.
whole day. It's been...
They probably
Sorry.
assumed we. They probably just assumed we died and are waiting for us to contact them. And I don't know if those birds
Yeah, I
actually
guess-
listen.
I guess they didn't. They wouldn't listen to Pavel anyway. They probably only listened to Ophira.
So what? Suicide?
Well, I'll get up with a stretch because I've been sitting for 8 hours. I'm gonna go try and find my party. Those chaotic dumbasses.
You find me passed out by the vats.
Yeah. Oresis
Yeah.
had a bit too much. You find Mace hooking the horses up to the carriage. getting ready to bring the vats of wine that were left over with you.
And how far away was it from here to that camp where they were hiding out? It wasn't very far, was
It
it?
wasn't too far, no.
Alright, so 30-foot speed and my ability to double dash, so 90 feet. How fast could I get there on foot?
On foot, you'd probably get there in maybe 45 minutes.
How about on horse?
They're gonna need both horses to pull the carriage,
True.
pulling a lot of wine.
Just make sure here. I wrote down the distances. I'm just looking to see where I wrote them down.
Well, Mace would convey to the group that his plan with the horses and the wagon was to unload the wine and take the wagon and the horses to the family so that they could load up their things and bring them back to the winery. That was his plan.
That's a good plan.
Right, but
We're not doing.
you should always send a scout ahead. So we'll go with that plan, but when we start getting close, I'm gonna kick off and scout ahead.
Okay. So you guys are all going down the road, or are you all?
Just
Everyone is restored to 10 temporary hit points after a few minutes on the road, but your max HP is back to normal.
That is so handy.
Is Aresis just like thrown into the back of the cart, unconscious?
Well, it would
yeah,
say,
getting,
did he wake up?
he did
Taking out
not.
this one out, I would think.
He's still passed out.
If he's passed out after 8 hours, that's a pretty serious drunkenness.
I mean,
Okay, well, I mean,
roll
Dungeon
that
Master,
one.
did he wake back up?
Yeah.
I
did
would
roll a
say
1 on it.
Aresis did wake back up.
Okay.
Dare me to roll another save?
No,
Splitting headache.
not for now.
Guys, nobody said anything about my bonfire, and I'm a little upset about it.
We
I
have
think
the
it's beautiful.
unplayed cards.
That's a really nice
Aresis is
bonfire, actually. You should be very proud of yourself.
I didn't
I am.
see it.
I didn't
Yeah.
appreciate it earlier, and I'm appreciating it now, and I like it.
That's good.
Thank you.
Alright.
Oh, pretty.
What a beautiful horse seat.
I felt like that
That's
fire.
where we burned last.
Alright, so we're on our way in the carriage.
Alright.
And once we get like maybe 15 minutes from the place, I'm gonna break off and go ahead.
Okay.
Those are some big ass horses.
Stealth. Alright, being good and stealthy.
Ophira, you break away from the group, and you slowly start making your way forward. And step by step, you're being very quiet. You're doing pretty well.
Also, I just want to, keep track of who has the staff.
You do.
Alright. Just want to make sure that there was no
For now.
Because there was a bit of confusion while you and Aresis were talking, so just wanted to make sure that was cleared up.
Locked topic, but okay.
Oh, right. God.
It's okay.
Can you tell I haven't been doing this a lot?
It's been a month. You work your way forward, and you start to see every so often blights in the woods. Some of them are just kind of off to the side. You see one that has been broken down and scattered onto the road. What looks to be either axe or sword cuts that were brought down to it. You see a few more as you walk down the road. And you start to realize that when they were told to just go away, they just went in all directions, including back in the direction of family.
God damn it.
You move forward, and you reach the campsite. And you don't see anyone there. You do see scattered blood on rocks. But you do not see any bodies.
Oh, blights don't have blood, so that's not a good sign. What kind of role is it to see what kind of a scuffle went on?
Investigation.
Oh, I'm wondering what that... Yeah, there was a fight.
Look around, you see the blood, and you're able to make a pretty straight conclusion of the blights basically walked straight into this encampment, and something happened. They clearly was some kind of battle. You don't know where they went. You don't know if people died. You don't know what. You just know that there was a battle.
Well, I'm gonna...
Can I make a check to see if I can find a track or something?
You're not there yet.
No one else.
When we get there.
I assume that you were all waiting for Ophira to come back to you.
Yeah, she just went ahead a little bit, so I don't think we would have stopped.
We're still moving.
Okay. I would assume that if she's trying to scout stealthily, she would need to be at least 15 or 30 minutes ahead of you to make sure that you didn't make any noise that would set off anything.
You said 15?
At least 15 or 30 minutes if I were imagining someone trying to be stealthy.
That's fair.
If you're just continuing to move down the road, which would be...
Yeah, we're going at a walk, and she's stealthing ahead like a ninja.
Yeah. So I'd say she's going to be there for at least 15 minutes before you arrive.
I'm not a ranger yet. Anyways, aside from that out of character little tidbit, yeah, I think I'm gonna look around because I know that they're more than likely also were-ravens, so I'm gonna look around for any birdie boys.
You don't actually see any. Like, you don't... Well, I mean, actually, roll a perception, I should ask.
I always look around, and my 0 wisdom bites me every time.
You don't see any, but at the same time, I'd say you're pretty distracted by what's happened. You've made a bit of a connection with ravens recently, and though not intentional, you're a bit distracted how the choices your team has made may have contributed to the loss of life with a group who you've begun to feel a bit of a spiritual connection with.
I'm like 2 more bad rolls away from just breaking the staff right now. Anyways, I'm gonna start heading back towards the party to tell them, they done fucked up.
You meet up with them within 5 minutes. So you get up to them, and at this point, the rest of you are probably already noticing a couple of twig blights and such inside the forest. They kind of just move away from you, but you start to just barely notice some of them. But it's very difficult to tell what's a twig blight versus what's a tree.
So I just get back, throw the wrapped staff at Lokhtari and say, "Congratulations, you told them to go away," and they walked right into the camp. They're all gone. I don't know where. There's blood. It's possible someone killed them.
Well, let's go see if we can pick up a trail, maybe. Maybe they're still alive.
Well, there's no bodies, so they obviously aren't all dead.
The only other safe place is Kresk.
You get to the campsite, and I'll let one more person do an investigation if they want.
Does anybody have good
Someone
survival?
help me?
If anybody,
No helping because Ophira already did one investigation, so this is the second one.
Here we go.
Okay. Oresis, you're able to tell that there was probably at least 4 blights that made it into the camp. Judging by where there's a couple of blights that were destroyed, where the most scuffling seems to happen, and you see some feathers also. You don't quite know what to make of them, but there seems to be a concentration of feathers in some places. And you see blood from probably at least 2 people. It's a bit hard to say. And the last thing is you almost make a sense of where they went, but it almost seems like they just fought and are no longer here.
Well, it seems like some birds got involved and a couple people were injured, but I can't discern where they've run off to. Best to just keep walking and hoping that we run into them along the way, I guess.
Pavel, if they were chased out of here, not knowing it was now safe at the winery, where would they go?
That's answer the DM question.
Out of character, though, there was quite a few people here. We really wouldn't see a trail of what way they would have went.
No, because they're were-ravens and can fly.
Yeah, but the baby can't.
Based on the investigation that was rolled, that's the information that you have.
Okay. Very good.
All right. Nobody can help Pavel with this wisdom roll and trying to figure out where they might have gone. So it's a straight 16. Actually, guidance. So he's gonna pray and ask for guidance and trying to figure out where they were and to get an 18 on a wisdom check.
I mean, if you were injured, bloodied, and hurt, where would you go?
Kresk.
Probably the place that would have the resources to help you. Yeah.
Yes, the problem is with continuing towards Kresk is we have no wine. We'd have to backtrack and pick that up.
We took it with us.
No, we emptied out the because we were expecting to have a lot of people to carry back towards the winery.
Well, here's what we can do. We can send 2 people back to get the wine, and then we'll start walking. And I assume that these horses can go faster than us, so by the time we get going, they can get back, and we'll meet back up somewhere in the middle.
Do you really want to send 2 people out alone in this place?
It's getting dark. We cannot separate.
We should stick together. I agree.
Well, then let's go get the wine and travel together then.
Yeah. You should know that it is now. It's midnight. It is very dark.
We're traveling at nighttime? Oh no.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
bad.
guys spent 8 hours sleeping during the day.
Well, I guess that makes perfect sense then, huh?
Let's get back to the winery. We can load up the wine in the morning because I, kind of want to have a rest, so I'm not facing exhaustion.
Okay, we
Yeah.
run back. We run back. We run back as fast as humanly possible. We're in the middle of the night in Barovia.
Alright.
Holy shit!
Mace.
I wouldn't have agreed to this if
roll
I'd
Yeah.
known
a
it was night.
D100 for me.
A D100.
I
Yes.
don't know what's better, high or low. Just go.
Don't you dare roll bad.
Oh.
Well, that could be
I'm
good.
casting a
Could be good.
spell. I'm casting a
And
spell.
I think you did it.
Pavel,
That's good.
Rhaegar, Lokhtari, Oresis, and Mace. I need you to roll Constitution saving throws for me.
This is good.
Oh, great.
That's fine.
Exclude me.
Well,
That's
you
all.
have the staff, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm not hoping.
I rolled an 11. Did I win?
You'll find out.
I know.
Next,
So no.
Curse of Strahd.
Party wipe.
You all make it back to the winery. Not too much happens to you. And I'm trying to think which one of you is a recess. What's your intelligence score?
Plus, it's 20.
It's 20. Okay. You get the sense, because you're right. Like, it's nighttime. It's a little bit surprising that you have not been accosted in some way or another. But then you realize that you're kind of surrounded by a fence of blights. So there's probably not too much coming towards you right now, aside from the blights. They've kind of
Oh,
acted
that's
like
good.
a perimeter to everything and anything that's not you with the staff. For better or
Good.
for worse.
This is great. This is fine. We're fine, guys.
We now own the winery.
No.
Yeah, let's hire these blights to start doing our business for us. Make a killing on the side.
Trying to get blights to make wine when you can only give one-word commands seems incredibly difficult.
Well, you tell one to smash, you tell one to stir, you tell one to, add
there such a thing
ingredients.
As a grape blight?
You have to do an extra level of straining for wood chips and splinters, and... Anyways, that's completely off topic.
You make it back to the winery. What do you guys do? It's very dark. It's the middle of the night.
We load down the cart and go just...
Well, let's do that tomorrow. Everyone, I know you just rested, but go to sleep.
I relight
I'm
on fire.
I'm gonna do the same, so I'm not, being stupid again.
I'm going to stay up and load the cart. Hopefully, if someone else will help, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I'll need some help. That way, we can just get going in the morning. We don't have to wait to do that.
Okay.
Put the horses back in the stall so that they can relax and maybe get them some food.
Alright.
I'm going to use distance spell if I can, together with mold earth, and try and make an earth berm wall slowly over time around the whole perimeter of this place. Beginning of a fortification.
I really don't think that's worth your time.
I'm just reading through it. Give me a second. Okay. How much time do you want to do this for?
Probably just until I start getting tired again, which since it's the middle of the night probably won't take too long. I'll probably stop after 4 hours,
4 hours.
and then fall back asleep.
Okay. I'd say 4 hours of work, you will have covered one half of the outer perimeter of the winery. And your wall is, how high do you want your wall to be? Because that's actually going to change how much you're able to actually cover.
That's going to be. I'm going to try and make it high enough to where you can get 3/4 cover.
Well, then that's 5 feet.
Okay.
Most people.
There you go.
Okay, so it's going to be a 5-foot high cube wall.
With a 5-foot ditch right in front of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
So
I'm
that'll surround
falling
about
asleep.
half of the winery.
God, I'm falling asleep in Barovia. Oh, DM, tell me well what nightmares await me in this hell.
Okay.
Trade those very nice.
This is the only game where I actually fear long rests.
Ophira. Where do you start? You actually start. Yes. Inside a tree. Its roots are. Actually, I'm going to change the music for something a little bit more appropriate. There we go. You wake up inside a tree. Its roots slowly seep and sink into your skin. It feels fetid and dark, and you can't see very well. Although there is a faint green glow. There's a small crack in the tree. And you can just barely see outside of it. It's hard to breathe because the roots seem to have slipped into your veins and into your lungs, and they seem to wrap around your ribcage. But through this crack, you see on a high, high hill a wicker statue. It's hard to see it. That's so far away, but it glows green. A brilliant green. And you realize that it's very tall. At least 50, maybe 100 feet high. And at its heart, you see this brilliant, glowing green light. And you find it harder to breathe. Breathe. Gasp. 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 And you fade to dark. Lokhtari. You are in the same place that you were before. Again with the table in front of you, and the same objects in front of you. Around you, creatures roam through the mist. You don't actually see them except for their shadow. Just leviathans swimming through the mist. You all awaken in the morning. Mace, you wake up first.
Okay.
And as you stand and stretch your muscles. You notice I would imagine one of the few things you do is you take an inventory of everything, you take a look at everyone, make sure that everything's okay. Because it's happened in the past where people have disappeared during the night, and none of you were keeping watch. You notice that there are roots growing out from the cloak and wrapping themselves around Ophira. You see them having inserted themselves under her skin, and you see them almost pulse like a heartbeat.
Is Pavel awake?
Immediately, he is going to wake everyone up because he is not going to know what to do immediately because the arcane arts are not his forte. So he is going to make sure he wakes everyone up and holler at him to come here now and shows them what's going on. He's careful not to touch it or her at this point until everybody's here and we can figure out what to do.
Pavel sees that and he immediately,
Question
kind of.
I wake up.
Ophira, you do not yet wake up.
Pavel just. And he kind of closes his eyes and holds his hands over her and casts this cleansing magic. All the spells that he knows instinctively from his soul. All at once. Lesser restoration. Dispel magic. And remove curse.
The veins continue to pulse and seem to continue to seep. Although, I will say that Ophira wakes up. Ophira, you awaken feeling very drained. You don't have exhaustion, but you don't feel well rested either with what you've just been dreaming. You wake up suddenly with all of your companions around you, Pavel glowing with the radiant light, and your right arm feels heavy.
What's going on? Oh, get that light away.
The remove curse spell does break attunement.
I never said it was attuned.
I think I know what happened. But so wait, okay. So this is Ophira this happened to?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Before you were saying something about this place needed gems or something to bring back the plant life around here.
Mm-hmm.
Was it ever explained why it needed those gems?
Say that
I do
again.
not know. I do not know why. I just know that the gems cleanse the land. Ophira seems as though she was able to do that.
Yeah,
this,
it seems as though her spell was able to do that. But what if the gems are the only thing that can cleanse the land? And with her trying to use that spell, it actually corrupted her
I
in
do
the
not think
process.
that it corrupted her. I think that the staff wishes to corrupt her.
Well, by using the spell, it connected her with the land. And if the land is corrupted, and that's the reason why nothing is growing here. And
While
then she
they're go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
basically tried to cheat the rules, basically, of this land. And maybe this is the backlash. This is Barovia. This is what happens.
Oh, that's not good. I'm just looking at my arm now. Finally woke up enough to realize what was going on.
Ophira, how deep do they seem to be under your skin? Is it something we can pull away from you and maybe heal the wounds?
Medicine check to figure that out about myself.
Go for it.
I don't know.
You have no sweet idea. You have roots inside your arm. You want this thing off you. ASAP.
Don't understand this was not supposed to happen unless Ophira has bonded with this staff. It should have remained
Maybe
detached.
like a parasite, and it is trying to steal her life force.
I'm not going to be able to move.
More
my
like a
arm.
vampire, but
I'm
yes.
not going to be able to move my arm without picking up the staff, am I?
Yeah, you can. It's just, I want, when I describe this, it's not that you're holding onto it. You're not even really touching it. It's just these roots have grown from it and then filtered into the veins of your arm. Almost like if someone put an IV into you.
Alright. Very carefully, I'm going to pull out my dagger. This will either be good or bad. I'm going to start trying to cut one out.
I have a healing spell prepared.
Okay. You're able to slice one. It leaves a small amount still inside the vein, but the root does somewhat shrivel.
I'm trying to, like, literally just cut it out. Like, dig under.
Alright, then yeah. You
Just
cut it out.
come out.
And you are bleeding, not profusely, but it's bleeding.
And I'm just going to keep
There
doing
are
that.
4 others.
I'm just going to do it to all of them.
Alright. Roll a Constitution throw for me.
Oh, wonderful.
It is excruciatingly painful, and by the time you get to the 3rd one and finish it, you actually pass out from the pain. There is one root that remains inside Ophira.
Well, I guess I'll
Vomit.
finish this up, and I'll pull out my dagger, and I'll finish this deed and be done with it.
Alright. You slice it out. And the blood still is dripping rather profusely from her hand. And with a healing word from Mace, the wounds heal. And Ophira, after a couple of minutes, you wake up again. With Mace's healing words whispering in your ear. Your hand no longer entrenched with the black roots.
Well, I think this settles it. Destroy it now.
If we destroy it, will the blights attack?
Destroy
Probably.
it now.
Is it possible
Although-
to do as you wish to do before and get them to come to us and then destroy it?
I find that plan to be good. Take out the bulk while we can, and hopefully we get most, if not all of them.
Fine, since this thing seems to like me so much. Let's go and unwrap it and Pick it up.
Okay. Immediately, blood starts to be soaked up and drip down the staff,
What's the deal?
and it begins to
I
drink it up.
I have a question, Eric. Does Pavel know where the Martikov family tried to go in order to get the gem back?
They never went anywhere to get the gem back. They escaped.
Okay, so that's all that they did when they left, is they just escaped.
They were under an absolute siege that they could not survive.
Okay,
So they were just running. They did not have the resources to recover the gems. In all
Okay.
likelihood, like, you knew enough that the druids mostly were coming from Yester Hill, which is slightly to the south of you. You know that much because you've been under siege for several weeks, and you would have overheard.
Okay.
They would have been talking about how that's where they were coming from.
Then Pavel will relay that to the team. He'll say, "I believe that the blights come from Yester Hill. It is that way. If we are going to destroy it, I think that we should destroy it at the nest."
Alright. Still, I don't know if I have to be able to see them, or they have to see me, or if they have to hear me, but I'm just gonna give the command to gather.
Okay, we're going to try and gather at Yester Hill, if that's possible.
So you
gather.
just say the word gather.
Yes. Then we'll get outside
And
and I'll follow.
Okay.
And Pavel's going to be leading to Yester Hill, if he knows where it is.
So at first, nothing happens because there are no blights around you. You told them to go away, so they're just scattered over whoever knows how many miles of forest. If you continue down the road, and let me just take a look at your map to see if you guys have a picture of it. Okay, yeah, so you do have it. It will take you a good 4 hours of travel to get to Yester Hill. Is that what you're all planning on doing?
Yeah. Can I cast the aid spell on us before we, as we go?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So you guys have got your 10 HP back, max.
So yeah, and as we're going, I will continue just giving the order, gather and follow.
As you walk and walk, you hear thunder and lightning growing louder and more frequent. Every so often, you collect a blight, 2, 3. You eventually have maybe 6 you follow. As Ophira's blood drains more and more into the staff. At this point, you are been holding on to it for so long, you are now attuned to Gothia's staff.
Unavoidable, but it was literally attaching itself to me, so that's a bit loud.
I'll lower that.
No, I just lowered it on mine.
Okay, good. Alright. You reach a tall hill. A very, very mountain.
Overthinking.
And you'll
That's gonna be
end up
huge.
over here. Yes. Everybody can put your tokens in the top right.
Use a big map.
Right corner, guys.
Top right.
I had to fix my HPs. I somehow had been not remembering to take off 10. So I kept adding 10 and adding 10. So I was at like 62 HP. I'm like, there's no way that's
Oh,
right.
God.
Like, I'm a wizard. There is no way that's possible right now.
See, whenever I get changes like that, I go and put them in the character appearance part of the bio area. So I can
I
always
got
just
it fixed now.
I can always just check my modifiers.
As you come down the road and you see this mountainous scape, you see stone cairns encircling different levels of base. The trail through the thick woods leads to a hill covered with dead grass and cairns of black rock. Dark, ominous clouds gather high above, and bolts of lightning strike the hilltop. West of the hill, the land, woods, and sky vanish behind a towering wall of fog. Dirt trails run along two concentric rings of cairns that encircle the hillside. Each cairn is a 10-foot high mound of slimy black rocks. A path leads down the middle towards the center and peak of the hillside, where you see a ghastly 50-foot tall statue made of tightly woven twigs packed with black earth. It seems to resemble a towering cloaked man with fangs. A wall surrounds this statue. Just makeshift rocks. Lightning continues to strike the cairns surrounding.
This is pretty familiar to me, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Although you were positioned from a different perspective. You were much closer. And you were
Right.
from the south end.
Right. I don't like this. And that thing was injecting into me. I saw this place. But not from this angle.
Let us go where the dreams head. Perhaps that is where we will find the origin of this stuff.
Alright, I'll start leading the way, I guess, up.
All behind you.
Alright. Give me a marching order, please.
I would be first.
I will second.
Pavel's going to be close to last.
And Mace will be last.
Lightning cascades over and over, striking the surrounding stones.
casting this, and everyone is affected by it.
Okay. I mean, you're walking on soil.
And I know, but Pavel is going to say to them, if you ever are too hurt to stand, go to the waters, and they will elevate you away from danger. And I assume everybody knows that I cast Wall of Water not too long ago.
Wait, sorry, I'm confused. When did you cast Wall?
Yesterday, so they know that I can cast that spell. With Water Walk on, they can go to the top of the wall and get out of danger's reach. It's a strange use of the spell, but it is possible.
It's possible. I'm gonna say that it's gonna be difficult for them to climb a wall of water, but they'll be able to, sure. Okay.
I mean, it just magically, if you were in the water, it magically brings you to the surface.
Yeah.
So.
Alright. You guys can advance as you choose.
I'm just. We really don't want to.
That's ready.
Yeah. I'll have my short sword out, and I'm just. I guess I also have to have this staff out. And I'm just walking up.
I am on high alert.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Okay, we're following her, yes.
Okay. You spend 10 minutes just walking down this path. This is quite the distance. Alright, hold up there.
Guys, can catch up with us?
Octari and Mace.
I'm waiting for Loctari. There we go.
Alright, so you're all staying on the path.
Yeah.
Alright. Rhaegar, you do not notice anyone.
Nope.
You are looking around, you don't see any people, you don't see any creatures. All you see is the lightning striking around you as you go higher and higher. And this statue that seems to remain in place.
Yeah, that's got my attention. Not to mention the fucking lightning bolts all around us.
It's a big map.
Go on. You reach the first moments of the rising hill. The first concentric stones surrounding you. And I need everyone to give me a strength saving throw.
Oh boy. Yeah. I a weak boy.
Alright.
11 for Pavel,
Alright, Pavel,
with guidance.
Oresis, and Ophira, the three of you are entangled and ensnared to the ground as a druid rises up from one of the cairn graves and casts magic down upon you. On the other side, you see another creature, more feral, huge and massive, bearing a gleaming axe, rise from the cairn. And with that,
Woof, 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 woof.
Ah, battle. Ah.
By the way, I think you guys forgot. One of you, whoever it was, collected a cloak last session.
Yeah, I forgot.
Who has that cloak?
I do not.
I think I do.
Do you think our characters would have actually forgotten it, though?
No.
No, I remember somebody specifically picked up the rings and the cloak.
Yeah, yeah. And you specifically went looking through the house all over again. Aresis was intentionally checking all the bodies. Like, it was very specific, because I re-listened to the end of the last episode. Like, you guys were very specific to pick it up.
Yeah. Also, I have the ring on, if that's also an attunement item.
The ring... So whoever has the cloak, that is a cloak of protection that you have.
Oh, I think we gave it to Loktari because I think I identified it and I already have it.
I don't think you identified it. I think you just kind of picked it up. It's like, oh, it's a magical cloak. We'll save this for later. I think.
Yeah, but our characters wouldn't have just ignored it, so...
Yeah. And for... Well, actually, yeah, I guess for Encyclo, you never had the ring identified, so all you know is that it's an evocation ring.
Yeah, but, if she attuned to it, then she would know what it is, right?
It's it's a ring of thunderclap. So you can... Actually, hold on. It's a bit more specific than that, so hold on. Where are you? So, treasure... Ring of Thunder. There you go. And I will edit this and put it in your journal. Ophira. There we go. Save that. So it's a little bit... You can read the text there. And Loktari, you can deposit a cloak of protection into your inventory.
Should give him some staying power in combat, because I know he's had to run away quite a lot.
I have to look at.
It's not running. It's strategic placement.
Yes.
Strategic retreat.
Tactical
Strategic
retreat, if you will.
damn it.
Well, thank you everybody for playing tonight. I'm
Yeah.
glad everybody did it. That was awesome.
Any
Yeah,
questions?
nice to get back into it. Why you do this?
Why are
Yeah.
you doing